Welcome back to Sunday Best. A interesting conversation here about fatherhood, especially in this generation. We took a break. That conversation just kept going and going and going, and we need to continue with that. There's something very interesting that you brought up about character development and role modeling as a parent, and if you desire to be a good parent, you definitely have to role model. Yeah. You can't tell your children drink milk, lakini wewe unapiga mzinga. They will think, Allah, this looks really nice, yeah? So role modeling is very key. Just as we continue with this conversation, and remember we are at the Cascadia Apartments. It is at the Two Rivers Mall. Beautiful, beautiful place. There's a showroom right there. So come check it out. You will love it. You will live here having, written your check for the next apartment, okay? So raising children in this generation, especially as a father, is not easy. And I'm sure you can agree with me. Yeah. It's not an easy thing. And we'll bring even up another conversation that women have been empowered, more empowered in this generation, and we have never spoken ill against single mothers. We appreciate the effort every single mother makes in this generation, but there's a part that the father plays that is very, very key. And we keep encouraging even single mothers and saying, you know what, attach your child to someone who's a father figure, because it's something that they'll be able to tap into that as well. And with empowered women today, the father has a bigger role to play. How, Adolan, probably we can start with you. You've gone ahead of them on. What is that biggest challenge of raising a child in this generation? And how can we overcome that?
I think I would say the biggest challenge that I've actually experienced is the availability of information.
We are in the information communication age.
So much information. Because you can imagine growing in the village, whatever you were exposed to was very limited and guarded by the entire village, not just your parents.
Right.
The whole society that you stayed with guarded that information. But right now it's all out in
there.
The open.
Yes.
So that means that I really have to work hard to try explain to my child that there's this info here, but us as believers, we will not subscribe to it.
Right.
Because that has to be built. Unfortunately, they'll go to school and find friends.
Yes.
Also subscribe to different
kinds of content. Yes. Yes.
So it has become it's been my biggest challenge to just help them know that as much as there's all this, it's all available to us, but we have to know which one will we pick out of all this. Right. It starts in a small way, because as I told you, my boy is 9 and the girl is 7.
Yes.
In a very small way, that telling them, by the way, us in this house, we don't do X, we don't do Y.
Right.
You might find your cousins doing Z, doing A, but for us, we will not do this, and keep repeating it.
That's
so having
true.
that info, I think that has been my biggest challenge.
Right.
Just how to manage it.
Right.
Because the second one would be how can I be more available? Yes, because given the corporate space,
yes,
at work, you are at you need to do 1, 2, 3. So by the time you're at home, you come back home, the time is very limited. Unfortunately, you learn more from your children when you sit with them and talk. Ask them how was break time. I think there was a time we attended a parental class by Kimunya.
Yes.
He said you don't ask how school was. Yeah. Because the answer will be fine.
And it's done.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
Ask how was break time. who did you spend your time with?
Yes.
Then from there you can be able to pick
That's
what
true.
you need to talk about.
That's
And you'll
right.
be shocked at how much they know.
Mm.
You'll actually be in shock. So just that being available to be able to have that conversation. Because that's a conversation you can't have on the run. It's a conversation that you can have seated and all of you are just doing nothing.
True.
Then it comes to their mind, by the way, this is what I did in school. Then they tell you, by the way, Dad, there was this boy in school who was doing this, and you see now that's a
You
window.
start-
As
yes.
the mother says, it's a window. You jump into that window
Right.
and now
Yeah.
explain further what you'd expect. The other day, he was telling us that there's a girl, imagine, class, I think it's in grade 2.
Yes.
9 years. The girl was telling her, sweetie, don't eat so fast.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yes, that's a girl,
Yeah.
age mate.
Yeah.
So he was telling us that at home. So how do you respond to that
That.
information?
And glad
Yes.
that he was able to tell you.
Tell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
see, he can only tell you that
When
if
they've-
you have the time.
And when you've
Sit
earned their
there.
trust.
And when you've
Yeah.
earned
But
it.
time is very key.
Time is very key.
And this is not about this is about quality time.
Yes,
Yeah.
quality.
It's really about quality
Yeah,
time.
Quality time.
So two things you've mentioned, very, very important.
Yeah.
Time
Yes.
and information.
Information.
It's too much.
Yes.
And we'll dig deeper into that. Demon, you know, you probably were saying, no, my kids are not sijui wakubwa nini nini. There is so much I'm sure you've learned within this short period. What is the biggest challenge for you in raising a child in this generation as a father?
By the way, it's true. You know, me, I have a set of pandemic babies. And let me just tell you, pandemic babies are different from regular babies. These babies are not normal, to be
Yeah,
honest. I'm serious. My kids are 1 year and 8 months. Above
Yes.
8 months, but they're below 2.
Yes.
And my daughter, Reina, you will hear her in the morning. In the morning, she says, I believe I said. Then she's lifting up her hands and she's closing her eyes. So one day I was wondering, what is this girl
Saying.
singing? Because I can hear she's singing something.
Right.
And the mother was like, no, that's the song that Sissy Wainan sang. You said, I believe it's the one she's singing. When did she hear that song? She heard it 3 days ago. So already that child can be able to process information and understand what is happening.
Yes.
Another thing is sometimes she used to lift up like then the mother would tell her bad manners. So now when she sees a part of anyone's clothes that is even lifted up kidogo, she will come and cover you and say bad manners. Because they are already learning at this
True.
age. So I think the biggest challenge is, what are they learning from me subconsciously without me knowing? Because there are so many things that you do in the house that you are not thinking that the children are watching, especially at that age. Because it is easy to assume, as if we are just watching a movie on Netflix, these kids are young, they don't understand it. But based on how I have seen them processing information, now I am more aware that everything that happens in the house, they can be able to see, learn, retain the information, and practice it.
That's true.
Yeah, so you become more aware. So I think for me, it's becoming more. I think awareness for me is
It's
the word.
key.
Like being key. Like, what am I doing at this particular time?
Yeah.
What are they learning when I
Right.
do this?
That's true.
When I relate to their mother like this, what are they learning when we are like things like that?
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about time. And with the busy lives we live today, I think you're doing more than
Yeah.
10 things.
Yeah.
And they keep adding, they keep growing and growing. And there's a tendency of wanting to go that direction and say, you know what, as long as I'm providing, then figure it out.
Yeah.
How do we create the time? And as fathers, how do we get to a point where we are not assigning our responsibility to our wives?
I think what?
Let's start here.
Okay. I think someone once said, I don't know who it was, that it's not even creating the time. We have the time.
All right.
All of us have the time. That's the priority.
Yeah.
That's
What do
true.
you want to be on top of that list? At any given time. Because if you needed to be at work, you will be at work.
Yes, you will
You will
be.
be at work. You can't get late today, get late tomorrow, get
No,
late
no,
the
no.
time.
You'll be fired, yeah.
You'll be fired. You'll be at work. Why? Because where
It's
you are right
priority.
now, work is priority.
Yeah.
Yes. When the season passes over, then a season will come when work will not be priority.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. So the thing is, just look at it and ask yourself, what do you want after 40 years, after 30 years, when your children are teenagers,
Young
and they're
adults.
young adults?
Yeah.
What would you expect to see? Because once you ask yourself that question, then it helps it become clear on what you need to do
Yeah. Now.
right now.
Yeah.
So that issue of creating time, it's more prioritize that time with them.
Yeah.
Once you prioritize it, you will find it because it's there. I'm not saying I've made it, no. It's a struggle each and
Yeah.
every day.
So what are some of the practical things we can do?
Number one is remove distraction. And the key distractor, TV, phone. Those two things. As in, they're the best distractors.
Right.
If you're able to limit the distractions, I think there was a time we were talking with my wife, Doreen, we were saying that it's not our business to entertain our children. Because at times we feel, my child will be bored, I need to cover these spaces for them. It's not our business to entertain our children. They need to find their own way
Of entertaining themselves.
And it's not technology.
Wow.
Yes. They have to, because that is what now builds creativity in them.
And it's the biggest challenge
Yes.
parents have with technology. You think they will be bored if they are not watching TV.
Yeah.
What will preoccupy their minds? They will find it.
They will find it. They will find something
Yeah.
to do because God made us very creative.
Right.
And what entertainment does is take away that creativity. I'm not saying entertainment is bad.
That's true.
But it should be in moderation. So once you take away that, then you realize that you'll be able to sit down as a family
And talk.
without any distraction.
Right.
And talk.
Yeah.
If you want to sit for 1 hour silent, it's fine. But trust me, you will find something to talk about.
Right.
So that is one. So create that environment of having a conversation. Then two, create that environment of telling them, you go figure out something. Yeah, figure out. And you'll be amazed at what a 5-year-old can do.
Yeah.
What a 6-year-old, what a 4-year-old can do. You'll
Right.
be amazed what they
Right.
can do. The other thing again, spend time with them. In terms of the time a friend of mine was asking me, if I take technology away, what will they be doing? Telling them, you can go out and play. You can sit down and jump, or you can have jumping sessions.
Yes.
Or you can have exercise. As in, with the time, when you repeat them, you realize but there is more you can do other than that.
That's true.
So activities will always come up as long as you create the space for them. But if you are distracted, then
That's it. Some of the others, just having dinner together.
exactly.
I'm told that table
Yes.
is where things happen.
Yes.
Conversations, secret conversations
Yes.
erupt from there.
Exactly.
And I've had when you have dates with your girls, you build something. They build more trust in you. Demon.
Cycle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's quite a bit. And hike. The hiking let's put that. You're to goje one. Damon, it's very easy to get to a point where you can delegate your responsibility to your wife. I've seen it happen. And as a man, you think, you know what, she's the homemaker.
Yes.
She takes care of the home and the kids. What is it? That temptation is so high.
Yeah.
How do we get to a point where we can resist? I know it's a journey, we keep growing into it.
Yeah. Because me, I was raised by a master delegator. My father,
Wow.
I knew how to delegate. Delegating guy, he was a master of delegating. We were 7 children. All of us, he delegated all that responsibility to our mom.
Yes.
So our mom is a very, very strong woman. So when I grew up, what I saw was my mom being the provider, my mom being the disciplinarian, my mom being the nurturer, my mom being everything that I know. When I went to my father with my needs, most of the time it would be, he was very good when he was sober, but when he was high on spirit, it was very, very different experience.
Right.
One time I went to him and I asked him, Dad, I need money for school fees. And my father said, me, I'm not your father. You ask your father. I said, What is
Sasa
your
gani tena, eh?
No, see, God is our Father. All of us. So you go and ask him, and he
Oh,
gives,
man.
because even me, I ask him, and he gives me. So for me, what you're saying is,
Yeah.
I don't remember my dad for all the negative things that he did. You know, when I think death has a way of bringing out information that you buried behind heart and expectations. And the things that I remember with him is when he used to take us to the shamba to go and lima together. He used to take us to go and wash, do what. There were chores that we detested, but that is the memory that you hold on to, because that is the positive thing that you know. Now, when it comes to responsibility, and even in this day and age, there was a time on Instagram people came at me because I posted a video of me like washing the floor, a duster. My friends came at me, you're interfering with our marriages. Now our wives are saying that look at how Damon is cleaning the house. He loves his wife. Like that. Why don't you love me? You understand? Like, that is what their complaint was. But I always say that when God made man in Eden, he made us and gave us the responsibility of being the head. You understand? So in all the things that we had to do, it was our responsibility. Our wives came as helpers to us.
Right.
But now we live in a generation where our women, our wives are empowered to be more powerful, and there's a danger of them taking the position of the father. And because we as men, we don't like to fight sometimes, we don't like stress. So if you want to take the position, you take it. It's like, you're making my work easier. Now I have enough time to go and play golf and go and do things, the things that I want to do. But I think it's the awareness and understanding that the responsibility of running your house and raising that family is solely on you. Your wife is a helper to implement the vision that God has given you for your home.
Right.
So once you have that down, you understand that my wife doesn't need to do anything. If anyone should be the best cook in the house, I should be the best cook in the house.
Right.
My wife is coming to help me so that I can do other responsibilities. Because it is culture that has shaped gender roles and roles of a father cannot do this. And this is where I was headed. When we got our twins, thank God I was in business. I had enough time to help my wife take care of those children. Now, our daughter was born premature, so she needed to do what they were calling skin-to-skin therapy or something like that. And most of the time, I had to do it because my wife was still recovering from her surgery, you understand? So because of that bonding with my daughter, like now the way I bonded with them, there is a way I cannot let anything happen to those children. But now the problem comes in, and you will see that in this generation, as much as we are talking from a biblical, from a Christian perspective, we cannot be ignorant of the fact that there are so many young people, young men who have neglected their children. And most of it, if you trace it back, is because they never got the opportunity to become present during the primary stages of this child. Like walking with your wife through pregnancy. Actually, research shows that when you stay with your wife when she's pregnant and you walk together, the same changes that happen in her brain happens in your brain as well. So you both adjust towards the you understand, the baby coming. So when the baby comes, you have also carried the child for 9 months because you were there through the hospital visits, you were there when she was vomiting, you were there throughout the entire stages. And the same thing happens because the mothers bond with their children because oxytocin is produced when immediately they give birth. You understand, because of all that pain and all the emotions that happen in that point. Unfortunately, men don't get to have that connection with their babies. So you have to find a way to create that connection with your newborn. So you have to be there present, be the one to feed the child, be the one to change the diaper, be the one, and when you do that, you create a relationship with them. Now, my relationship with my children is so amazing that my son now is 1 year 8 months, but he refuses for ladies to change his diaper. And when they try to change his diaper, he will cry and say, Daddy, Daddy, where? Because he knows that this is a thing that we do with him.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. You see those stones you were thrown when you were that video on Instagram?
Yeah.
They are coming again. Because of that pregnancy conversation and changing diapers. A wider audience. So many stones. But that's amazing. That's how you get to connect.
Yeah.
And we can all agree that our connection with our fathers was very minimal. Because they will never do, and we agree part of it was cultural. They will never do things like those. And you find people our generation have such a connection with their mothers because of the things your mother did to you.
Yeah.
And your father will tell you, enda kwa mama yako. Nini, unalialia hapa, enda kwa mama yako.
Yeah.
You know? So it's something I think that we need to learn and do it, and do it very, very well. As we bring this to a conclusion,
Yes, sir.
we can just mention, what are some of the attributes, or rather the values, that we think a good father needs to possess?
I think we go back to what he began with.
Yes.
Jesus and God.
Yeah.
That relationship. Actually, that becomes our model. How would God treat us?
Yeah.
Because we also know God's children.
Yeah.
Because at times, I find parents who say they can't discipline their children, that they were over-disciplined
themselves.
So they don't want their children to go through that.
Mm.
And if you have to ask me personally, I think that is missing the point.
Right.
Because if you look at the bigger picture, even God disciplines us.
Oh yeah.
Yes, He does. He doesn't want to let you have everything you want whenever you want it.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things I would say is, one, of course, top on that is be able to model. That modeling is
Very key.
Very key.
Yeah.
Because what they see is what they will do.
Yeah.
And someone once said that whichever way you're training, if you tell your child to spread the bed or not to spread the bed, it is still training.
Yeah.
So if you don't tell them to spread the bed, you're training them not to spread.
Yes.
If you tell them to spread, you're training them to spread the bed. So that modeling part is very important. Then I think also another attribute would be just being able to come down to
their level. Yeah.
So they don't see you as this big person and they're these small children. Yeah.
That builds trust.
Yes, so that you can have a conversation. I think there was a clip that was going around. I think it was Prince, someone who was kneeling down to talk to
the
child.
child.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have to come down so they feel they can connect with you.
Yeah.
The other thing, again, of course, I would say is be very emotionally aware, as you say, awareness, because at times we think children don't have emotions, but they do. We're actually building those emotions as time goes by.
That's
So
right.
depending on how you build the emotions, then it will determine how they turn out. Whether they'll be able to love someone in a loving way, or they'll be able to undergo a lot of rejection in the process of how we handle them in terms of the emotions.
All right.
The list is
endless.
endless.
One or two?
I think I'll just top up on that God father-son relationship, because the Bible has given us as fathers specific roles that are unique to fathers. Like a father is the priest of the home.
Yes.
So that means that you have the responsibility to train your children, to preach in your house, to teach them the word, to teach them their faith. And then a father is also the prophet, because you speak the destiny of your child. This is my son. I have sent him to all those things. And Jesus would always say that I did not come to do my will, but I came to do the will of my Father. Because the Father shapes the destiny of the child. So with your words, you begin to shape that. And then also, the Father is, of course, a provider. And then another one is the Father is a protector, because you have to also protect your children from everything else that happens. But where I wanted to go is Jesus, I said when he was in the water, God affirmed him. So as fathers, we have to affirm our children. It's about building them up. It's because most fathers that I've seen in our generation, they would point out the negative things that you do, but very few fathers will point out the positive that you do. But when you encourage someone like that, then they will be able to do better. But also there is the place of a father, and I love my father-in-law, because my dad is late. Now God gave me a father-in-law who is everything that I ever missed in a father. God has brought it in my father-in-law. And my father-in-law is, the good things that I wanted, and also the good things that I didn't want. Because there are good things that you don't want from a parent. A parent who becomes tough on you. Because even God had to be tough on Jesus. And Jesus on the cross said, "The Father, why have you forsaken me?" Because this is your cross for you to carry, and I can't come and carry your cross for you. You understand? And that is a lesson that I have learned from my father-in-law, which is very, very profound. That we have to know the time to nurture, to protect, to affirm, but we also have to know the time to step away and let them learn their lessons.
That's right.
I think
Final statement. Just on that.
Just on that, what you just said, I think the other key part of a father is to set boundaries
Yes, that's true.
for your child and for your family
Right.
as a whole. Because if you don't set those boundaries for them, then you make their life very difficult because they don't know how far they're going to go.
And that's leadership,
Yeah.
right?
So those boundaries, it's very important that as a father, you're able to set them.
That's
so
right.
you're able to see that this is how far I can go. If I go beyond this, these are the consequences.
That's
and allow
right.
them to go through the consequences.
That's
if
true.
they happen.
Your final statement in this format. How different would you want to father from the way you are fathered? In just a statement. Damon, that comes to you as well.
Be present.
All right.
Be sensitive. And I think be present, be sensitive, and provide.
All right. Lovely. Provision, you can't run away from.
You go to your father.
Yeah, you want me to say, as he has said. Anyway, I think, of course, your character as my character as a parent or as a father is very key because that is what I portray.
Yeah.
Then that goes back to the modeling part and character development.
Yeah.
And of course, what beats them all is presence.
Yes.
You have to be present.
Yeah.
Yeah, that presence is.
Yes.
Is
And
key.
it has to be quality
Quantity.
and quantity.
And intentional.
Yeah.
It's not just something that happens.
Yes.
I've seen people take their children to swimming, then they sit and play with the phone as the child swims.
Yeah.
You need to
are
be
not-
in
you
there.
are- You need to be in the water.
Yes.
The child in the water.
Yeah.
That's
Participate.
now- participate with them. Swim
Yeah.
with them in the water.
Right.
And now that is being present.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Those are very powerful insights. I love it that you're growing with your kids. There's already an emotional attachment. I didn't know that thing that you did. I have had it many times. The connection with that girl will be on another level. Wewe ndio siku atakuwa naolewa utapiga nduru. Haijaipigwa. And you just hope that but we thank God that you'll have modeled her to even accept a man who is a good man as well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Adola, thank you as you keep raising the two amazing guys. And even as more come, may the Lord give you more grace.
I will not comment on that.
So thank you very much. God bless you. Amazing conversation about fatherhood, especially in this generation. At a time like this, we need to be good fathers. And may the Lord give you grace to be available, to be present, deliberate presence, and to provide and to speak life to them and to pray for them, and to secure them. That when they look back, they'll say, I had an amazing father. That's our prayer today. So God bless you. Thank you for being with us. We have another great conversation next Sunday. Baraka tele, and have a great week ahead.
Within the superb 100-acre mixed-use Two Rivers development, Cascadia Apartments combines comfort, convenience, and luxury living, making it the ultimate choice for your home. Life at Cascadia is nothing short of a dream. When you want to enjoy luxurious downtime, Cascadia, which is located within the thriving social city of Two Rivers, affords you immediate access to fine dining restaurants, entertainment, fashion avenues, hypermarkets, and plenty of green parks.